Hello everybody and welcome to the GMS Magazine videos. I am Paco Garcia. I have been a absolutely passionate RPG geek since since I first discovered Dragonlance in the mid 80s and started playing a few years afterwards. So I remember very fondly the boxes, and I so wish and want them to come back. And that is what the Creativity Hub, the creators of Rory Story Cubes, have done with Untold Adventures Await. This is a role-playing game in a box, but it's a different role-playing game. It's like a storytelling game that's a little bit role-playing game, and it is very strange, and I didn't know what to make of it when I first heard of it. So is this game actually worth the amount of money that you have to pay to get your hands on it? I'll tell you in a second. Untold Adventures Await is a game by somebody, Rory O'Connor, who admittedly was absolutely petrified of being a GM. And yet, he is possibly one of the most passionate people about storytelling I know, hence Rory Story Cubes. So when I heard about this game and how it was going to work, I was a little bit, I have to say, I was skeptic. But when I spoke with Michael Fox about it at Essen at Spiel 2017, it's not just that my curiosity was piqued, it's that my enthusiasm was very, very well tapped into, and I was desperate to take a look at this. Untold Adventures Await promises a role-playing game that can be played by the youngest and the oldest in a very controlled manner, and that with very, very light rules allows for a very deep, rich and replayable experience. Now that, for a role-playing game, is a lot to promise. The production is absolutely excellent. The box is very sturdy, the illustrations are just so good and I love it. The board, because yes, for a role-playing game, this game has a board, sits very nicely on the table, and it has some very well-made recesses where some cards, yes, this game has some cards, are gonna fit into, and those cards has some recesses where the Rory Story Cubes, yes, it comes with those as well, are going to fit very snugly in. The iconography of the game, which is present both on the board and in each player little board, which is very thick and very sturdy and very well made, are very good, convey the ideas very simply, very easily and unequivocally. Now that is something I would expect as somebody who is an expert in icon creation like Rory O'Connor. So no surprises in there at all. The game comes with 2 notebooks where you're going to create your character and you're going to create your world, and a set of Rory Story Cubes, the initial base set of Rory Story Cubes, and some cards. That's amazing. It's a lot. It's a huge lot. So, what is this all about? The basic premise of the game is that you are featuring in an episode of a TV series. You're creating your own TV series. And in that TV series, you're going to have 5 different stages, from setting up the plot, to defining who's going to be the enemy, finding some sort of twist, then a massive reveal, and at the end there is an epilogue, something like that. Oh my god, it works so well. So seriously well. At the beginning of the game, you're going to create your characters and you're going to create the world, and you do both by just answering a few very simple questions, in the sense of when are you playing, where are you playing, how is this happening, where are you? And the whole thing is very detached. You have certain tokens in each of the stages to decide whether you can ask a question or you can do an action. And that's what's going to move the action forward. Once those tokens have finished, the next stage is revealed and then you move the story along. Each one of those cards, which can be interchanged, it's going to give you some directions as to where to go. So with an icon, you will roll the Rory story cubes and decide in this location, this thread is accusing someone of something. So you interpret the dice, you take 2 of those dice and you decide among yourselves what die is going to be, what die is going to go where in order to create the story. Now once that story, that bit of the story has been created, people can start asking questions and the story can start to be built up. So if you are taking place, for example, the example that gives in the rules, this takes place in a space academy where somebody's accusing somebody else of doing something. Well, who is accusing what? Or why is they accusing that person of that thing? Well, I am going to try to tell them something about this and this and this and this and this, so this can happen. Oh, but if that happens, then what? Right. There are some reactions. When you do an action, you get some reaction cards. And depending on those reaction cards, which are just some facial expressions, nothing else, then you have to decide what happens exactly. And if there is a success or a failure, or a partial success and a partial failure. Oh yeah, oh yeah. It is enough to keep the imagination going, to get the storytelling juices flowing, but not so much that you need a lot of preparation and that you feel there is too much to do. It's enough a constraint to actually keep things moving and going, and I like that. That's it. The story progresses until the end. There is a grand finale, and that's it. That episode is over. It is then up to you to decide whether you want to continue with the series, and the game certainly encourages you to do that, so you can create a story arc. Now, the rules literally can be read in half an hour. And to me, that is an insane success, because so many times we see role-playing games that you have to read for months to be able to play. With this, you sit down and half an hour later, you are playing. You are creating your own stories. And you can do it with people from absolutely any age. And if you doubt me, seriously, try playing this game with a child. You think you have imagination? You know nothing, dear geek. Nothing at all. Try playing with a child and your world will be turned upside down. It is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Wonderful that it actually offers a level of detachment that is very good for younger players. You know, this is not a real situation, this is like a TV show. There's a level of psychological detachment from there. But furthermore, it also comes with a card, the pause card, where if somebody feels threatened, uncomfortable, or doesn't really know where to go with this and needs to discuss something, just put the television, you know, put the episode on pause, talk about it, discuss it, and then continue. Which is great. It's a great safety measure that I think many more role-playing games should think about. Considering that you have a number of Rory Story Cube sets, the possibilities are truly endless, seriously endless. And if you are crafty, I can see an awful lot of people creating their own cards, so you can have your different types of twists and plots and something else happening, and even creating new icons that you can use to enhance your storytelling and fit it to your group. So I'm loving this. As a concept, it's absolutely fantastic. As a game, to tell stories, it's pretty much flawless. It's so good. So good. You want superheroes? Absolutely fine. Get the Doctor Who or the Batman set of Rory Story Cubes and you're done. You want something a little bit whimsical and silly? Fine. get the Adventure Time or the Mummy kind of set, and you have something completely different. You want something crazy? Mix them all. Yay, Doctor Who and Batman. Absolutely, yeah, come on, who's not up for that? Seriously, if you're looking for a game to introduce your kids or your friends to storytelling, if you are a creator and you just want something to get your imagination sparked and going in a cooperative manner, this seriously something you have to have. Trust me on this, you are not going to regret it. Untold is a piece of genius, and I am loving every single second with it. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Truly appreciate your time. Please give us a thumbs up if you have enjoyed this video. It truly means an awful lot when we get those. And send us your comments about Untold or storytelling games, which I would love to hear about. If you can, please help us with our Patreon campaign. It's truly appreciated. If it is just $1, everything really counts. But above all, please remember to share this video and subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much indeed.